So this is very much the morning after, the night before. Leeds 2, West Ham 1, in another very, very poor performance overall from West Ham. And another shocking lineup from Nuno, which I'm going to talk about. And basically, just more confirmation of where we are this season, in that we are going to get relegated. I am so sure of it now. It's been diabolical, really, this season. I can't believe how badly it's unfolding, really, for us, and the fact that we've now brought in a manager that seems to have just all carried on where Potter left off, where Lopetegui left off. It feels like nothing's changing, does it? It doesn't feel like anything's improving, despite the early signs that it would, which I'm going to talk about again in a sec. But it's just this is a very, very bleak time for this football club. It's dire, actually. I've you know, there'll be a few fans on that watch this that maybe haven't seen us get relegated, but most have. This will be my third, I think, my third relegation. In terms of my proper long-term support. Yeah, it would be. I saw us get promoted, but I came to West Ham at 97, sort of thing. Around that time, properly. That's when I started really supporting the club, and so I was about 7 years old. So, sorry, not 97, 92 even. So I was 7 years old. It was 1992. So it was around that time when we got promoted to the Premier League. So I've seen West Ham get relegated. Realistically, I've seen us get relegated twice in that time, and it was just this has been really tough. This feels like that. This reminds me of those times. Relegation, you have that feeling, don't you? And I think that these run of games that we've had, well, we're halfway through them. These 4 games: Brentford, Leeds, Newcastle, and Burnley. These were the 4 games to flip that, to turn the season on its head. And I felt that when we got Nuno in, that would be a really big opportunity for us to do so, that we could kick on a little bit and springboard and show a little bit of fight that we're actually going to stay in this league. It was vital. And I said that the only, out of those 4 games, we can only afford to lose one. In my mind, that was going to be the Newcastle game that we probably would lose. But so the Brentford, Leeds and Burnley games, we just couldn't afford to lose any of them. We needed to get 7 points. So we needed 2 wins and a draw out of those 3. That was where my mind's at. We've played 2 of them. And they, as I say, those 2, we couldn't afford to lose one of them. We've lost both. And I think it's shocking, really, really shocking in how we've gone about it. So, I'm not going to go over Brentford again, of course. We're talking about the Leeds game. But the lineup, let's start with the lineup again. I talked about it yesterday in the team news that I sort of hinted towards it, really. I'd been given the indication that it was going to be a similar lineup to what we saw against Brentford. So, and then obviously Nuno had confirmed that sort of he did a press conference or whatever, and he basically had said that it didn't work on Monday, but he hopes it will work on Friday. And you think, oh my God, he is actually going to play the same team, which he pretty much did. Ollie Scholes again at right back, which was just a terrible, terrible decision once again. In fact, it actually cost us our first goal, I felt. We were 1-0 down in 3 minutes against Leeds. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. And it was just an epitome of where we are. Like, the players weren't even fighting. Do you know what I mean? From the first minute, we weren't even in it. We don't even look up for this. The players aren't even up for it. I'm not going to sit there and slagging off Jarrod Bowen and say he's not a captain. I've already said my point on that, but we don't have any leaders on that pitch. There's no leadership. There's just none. They're just not fighting. There's no grit. There's no character. There's nothing out there. A pathetic first goal to concede. A pathetic goal. Really poor from us in terms of defending. Ollie Scholes was terrible in terms of not stopping the header. And then the rebound, it falls to Todibo, and he's just sort of daydreaming. Typical Todibo. What a waste of a player he is. Absolutely useless. Honestly, I cannot stand the guy. I can't say there's so much of this team I just don't like. There's so many players this team I just want to get rid of. There's just so much wrong, isn't there, at West Ham at the moment? There's so much wrong. You look all over the pitch. There are problems in every department. Everywhere you look, you think there's an issue. Defensively, we're a shambles. The goalkeeper I don't rate. Midfield, I mean, what is he playing that midfield for? Souček and Irving again. I mean, what is Nuno doing? What is he doing? Why is he picking a team that didn't work? Please explain to me why he's moved away from what he put out against Everton when that was our best performance. Probably one of our best. Well, it was one of our best performances of the season. I don't understand it. I don't understand why he's thrown that in the bin when that was the performance that was the best he's been since he's been at the club. I don't understand it. I don't know why he's so adamant that we need to keep changing the system. I'm very worried. I'm very worried about Nuno as a manager. I think it just feels like we brought in this guy that's got such a decent track record in this league. You know, he's done so well at Wolves and obviously at Forest. I mean, Forest are in the top four most of last season. Nottingham Forest. That's the same team we beat 3-0 a few weeks ago. Do you know what I mean? And he got them in the top four and consistently were up there. And I can't believe he can't even get a tune out of this team at all. I mean, I'm not expecting him to work miracles and suddenly we're be in the top six, but flipping hell, he should be able to organise his defence. We don't even look like we can defend. We were 2-0 down on 15 minutes because we conceded from a bloody corner again. Why is he not sorting this out? Why are we not getting this addressed? I don't understand what's going on. They're not even contesting for the headers. Do you know what I mean? You look at the second goal. Is it Roden scores the header, and it's like we're not even contesting it. We're just not. We look disinterested. I mean, I'll desperately try and pull on some positives on this, but there's hardly anything, you know, other than okay, was it an improvement against Brentford? Yeah, but we weren't playing. We were playing a lesser team. And let's get it right. Like second half, people say, "Well, we played a bit better the second half. It picked up." Yeah, we was better second half, only because Leeds didn't really go for it. Leeds sat up and they'd won the game. They knew the game was done. If they'd have capped up the pressure and ramped up the gears, we'd have lost 3 or 4-0. It's only because they sat back and it gave us more of an opportunity to have more on the ball. It gave that impression, oh, West Ham are playing much better here. But it's not to say we weren't better than the game before. I know we were better, but I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that as brilliant. That's something to build on. It was certainly not that for me. I mean, we got a goal at the end. Matías Fernandes got his first goal for the club, which is good to see. But as you can see, I'm struggling to muster up any kind of enthusiasm for this because we're going to get relegated. There is no two ways about it this season. West Ham are going down. We're already getting cut adrift. By the time we get to January, people are saying, well, we'll get to January, we'll spend the money and that'll be enough to keep us. We'll be gone by January. I reckon we'll be about 9 or 10 points adrift by January, and then you ain't getting out of that. You're never going to turn that around. It's horrendous. It's horrendous. I want to talk about Nuno's comments as well after the game, and we can talk about those. So this is what he said after. He said, we started the game very bad in the way we approached our defensive situation. Well, why are you playing a flipping left back, wing back at right back, you idiot? Do you know what I mean? Oh, our defending was all over the place. Well, you're playing players that are playing crap. Why are you playing Todibo? He's shit. He's utter shit. And yet you're playing him again. You're playing a fucking left back at right back again, which didn't work in the last game. And now you're saying we started the game really badly defensively. We allow the contact, we allow the second shot on target. Then comes the corner, a goal from a corner, something we slightly improved in the previous game, but then we get punished again. I mean, God almighty. Slightly improved. I mean, Christ, God. Commitment, focus, and responsibility is what we want from our players. We still have time, but let's not hide. We have to be better immediately, and it starts tomorrow to work hard on a long week of training and to show at home a different situation. Does he honestly think that we're going to go and beat Newcastle? Not a chance. Not a chance. And Newcastle aren't doing well this season, but trust me, they'll be licking their lips coming to our ground. But Eddie Howe can't wait. It's like the gift that keeps on giving this football club. I agreed with this comment. He said, I truly believe that we, and I include him in this, we are the ones that are losing these games. We are the ones that are making the mistakes, yeah, including you. And we are the ones that should be blamed, and we are the ones that should blame ourselves. And I include him in that. Like, what I'm really confused about as well is we've got Steve Potts and Mark Robson now, and a couple of the other academy guys working with Nuno as senior coaches. Why are they allowing Nuno to pick Scholes? Why aren't they saying, no, he's not to play at right back? What are they seeing on the training ground that none of us are seeing? Right, he just talks about how he credit Leeds and how well they played and all that. Right, he said, for me, I want to see it now. It's immediate reactions. That's what we need. But he said this about this game. He said this about the Leeds game, by the way. He said something very similar, that we're going to see a big reaction. I didn't see a big reaction. He said, and this is when he went over to supporters. I haven't seen this, by the way, but he said, "I went to see the supporters after the final whistle, and I see the frustration from the supporters. I see their anger and the disappointment in their faces, and we understand them. It's up to us to change things. It's up to us to get their support." I mean, yeah, fine. I mean, all right, he went to speak to the supporters, and fine. I'm resigned to it. I'm just resigned to relegation this season. I don't see us turning the situation around. It's going to take an absolute miracle. I mean, literally, the only way now West Ham, in my eyes, show any signs of turning this around, any signs, is beat Newcastle and beat Burnley. And we won't. I mean, honestly, can you honestly hand out say West Ham are going to go and beat those two teams? I just don't see it. I do not see it. Um, this is a dire situation, and I'm perplexed by Nuno. I'm really disappointed in him. I thought that when we hired this guy, we were getting an astute Premier League manager. I mean, look, I'm not. I'm not going out to watch West Ham expecting to see West Ham go, wow, what a brilliant performance. Wow, I'm talking about the situation we're in. I just want someone to come in and get this team playing the basics of football, being able to defend, being okay in midfield and half decent in attack. That's all we need. That's all we need. Just the basic stuff. We're not expecting to be performing like a top 6, top 4 team in the Premier League. We expect to be playing like a team that can stay in it. And I think there's enough in that squad to do that. Don't get me wrong, it's a horrendous squad and we've got lots of issues all over it, but there's enough quality in that team to get us out of this mess. And for some reason, we've got now a manager who seems to be carrying on the trend of not being able to get anything out of this team. What I'm struggling to understand is he was getting a tune out of them. The Everton and the Arsenal performances, especially defensively, was so much better. I don't know why we've gone backwards. I don't know why we're changing everything. Yeah, so I'm bitterly disappointed in terms of where we are. I'm not shocked by last night. I'm sure you can probably tell that I'm not raging with anger because Brentford. I was raging with anger because I was expecting a performance. I was expecting the fact because it was just such a big game. And I thought, this is the game. We've had all the time now to prepare for it. This is such a huge occasion. Brentford are struggling. We need a result. The performance, when you sort of put the two performances of Everton and Arsenal together, you thought, yeah, I've got a feeling we might be all right here. And I was really expecting, but the fact we were so bad against Brentford was it's shell shocked. So it sent shockwaves through the fan base and everyone. So and so much so that it's just deflated me to such an extent that I was just expecting defeat against Leeds. So I'm not really surprised here. I'm not sitting there going, I can't believe we lost last night. I'm actually just surprised it was only by one goal, especially the fact we were 2-0 down in 15 minutes. But to concede in third minute is disgusting. I mean, absolutely fucking disgusting. Yeah, I'm at a loss with this. I'm at an absolute loss of where we are in terms of Nuno and where we go from here. As I say, it's kind of now do or die. Really, the next two games both must win. They're cup finals. Newcastle and Burnley are cup finals for West Ham. But I'm already mindset is all very much in the feeling of relegation. I just do not see us getting out of this because someone messaged me yesterday and said I was overreacting and saying. And by the way, everyone's entitled to opinions. I'm not going to say this person's name because it's harsh, and also I'm not having a go at them, but I'm just trying to make a point. Is they were saying, well, you're really overreacting because it's only 8 games. It's only the 9th game of the season. Some people get a bit caught up in this and see the low number and think, oh, we've got ages. We've only got a 38 game season. We're a quarter way through it. We've only 10 more games and we're halfway through the season. You've played every team once already. If we carry on the way we are, we're going to end up with what are we on for? We're going to end up with 16 points. 16 points. Let that sink in. 16 points. That's where we will end up with. If we carry on our form now, if we carry on the way we are, that's what we're likely to end up with at the end of the season. And the fact is, we're actually getting worse. So it could be less than that. So when people say to me, "Are you overreacting?" You're. And I know, by the way, most people aren't saying that, but I just want to make that point. It did kind of irk me a bit because I was like, "Well, sorry, I'm not overreacting. We are going to get relegated." The thing is now, that the reality is, right, if we're going to stay up this season, we need to get a point a game. We're going to need, say, 38 points. I think 38 points will probably be enough there or thereabouts. That will probably keep you up, right? That's a point a game. So theoretically, we should be on 9 points now. We're on 4. So we're 5 points adrift. So if you take that into consideration, the next 2 games have we got, so that's going to take us to 11 games, and we're on 4, so what's that, 6? So that will get us to 10 points. So if we win the next 2 games, we'll be on 10 points out of 11 games. So we're almost there. We're almost there. But bearing in mind, we've then got really tough fixtures coming up. We're behind. We're massively behind. These 2 games were absolutely massive for West Ham. We needed, as I said, I think we needed 4 points in these 2 games, and we've got 0. We are in really, really big trouble here. Big trouble. And I don't see a way out of it. I don't see any light here at all to suggest that we're going to... Because there's no fight. There's nothing. We haven't even got any leaders on the pitch. We haven't really got a captain, let's be honest. We haven't got anything to pull us out of this. We are in dire trouble here. And yeah, sorry to say, sorry, it's a crap video, miserable, but sorry, I don't know what I can do. It is what it is. You know, like I say, good old West Ham ruining the weekend before it even started. Thank you very much for that. I'll catch up with some more videos. I'll have another video tomorrow morning. I'll do something. Maybe there'll be something later on if there's any news, but I'll let you know. But enjoy the rest of the weekend. Do your best to switch off from it all. I know it's going to be hard, but yeah, have a good one. Catch you later. Come on, your ones.